Hey everybody, Randy Reviews It here. So this week we got spammed by the Springfield Armory Echelon marketing campaign. And I want to make a video and start a new series. This is going to be called Company Callout. So what this video is intended to do is, I think, give companies advice on what gun owners, regular people like me and you, really want to see and what they should be doing, rather than just spamming us with endless marketing. Because I don't know about you, but to me it's kind of a turnoff. Even if the Echelon was this great gun, getting spammed the way we did, I'm not for it. I'm not interested in it. In fact, I trust things less when they're kind of forced on us, the way that the marketing for this pistol's been. So let's talk about the Springfield Armory Echelon and why I don't think it's a good campaign, and potentially maybe the only reason to ever buy this gun is pretty minimal. So let's start with the basics. What is it? It's a striker fired gun with a chassis system. It's polymer. It's nothing new, and I think that's our first point, is gun companies putting out these guns that have like no innovative or new features with them. The only thing that has come out that's interesting with this gun is a variable mounting system. So you can mount all these different footprints to the top of the Echelon. I still don't see a lot of value in that, because if you're like me, you're not buying a different red dot every month to try it out. You're buying a red dot that you've trusted, you're putting it on your gun, and you're probably leaving it there. So I think the plate system that's been in use for, the past few years even, has been fine. I don't see any issues with plates. And, a lot of gun companies have gotten around that already, where they make, the basic footprints, and then you can buy plates to go on after that. So I'm not seeing any innovation here. There's nothing new. If they really wanted to innovate, what I would have liked to have seen is the Springfield Echelon use the same action type that something like an Archon Type B uses, where it's something other than the Browning mechanism, and it creates, potentially less recoil, has a better lockup, something like that. Maybe even a rotary barrel. Let's bring that back. I've been watching a lot of videos about the PX4 Storm, and I think the rotary barrel needs to be brought back for sure. So yeah, no innovation on this Echelon. There's nothing interesting about it. Then the next bomb drops. This thing takes proprietary mags. If you're a gun company right now, and I'm calling out you, Springfield Armory, because I thought you did a good job with it, with the Prodigy. You released mags that were affordable, that could be used in multiple guns, all this other stuff. What do we get with the Echelon? We get proprietary mags. You were handing out mags like candy for the XDMs. Why couldn't you just make it take those mags? They were well made. They held a bunch of rounds. I'm not seeing the issue here. I'm sure you could have figured it out. Creating this proprietary mag is just, to me, it feels like another cash grab. And I get it. Businesses want to make money. But if I'm already invested in other mags, I'm less likely to buy your firearm. That's just the bare nuts of it. So, lastly, with Springfield Armory in this and the Echelon, there's better options out there for better prices. You have things like the Beretta APX A1 that this thing looks identical to, that costs nearly $300 less, definitely has a better QC track record than this, and it's Beretta, it's well made. Like, I don't see the issues here. I don't see where you're gaining. They advertise, well, this has a chassis system. Cool. You didn't release any of the other chassis or frames or anything with it at the same time. So if you buy this gun, you're stuck hoping that they put out what you did. I seem to remember something called the ACR, where a bunch of people bought into it because they heard there was going to be a bunch of barrels coming out in other calibers. How'd that work out for them? Yeah, don't trust the companies. to say that this will come out, we'll get this out to you, you'll have these options. Wait till those options are out if that's what you're really looking for. So right now with this Echelon, every gun tuber has been spamming. One thing I did like that Springfield did is they have like kind of test shoots at various ranges, stuff like that, like a try before you buy. Springfield Armory, if you're listening to this, I like that. I want people to be able to put the gun in their hand, fire a few rounds, get a feel for it, see if it's for them. What we don't need is everyone cramming this down our throat and telling us this is the new hotness. Because it's new, but there's no hotness really to this thing at all. Like, I'm not sure how much you paid some of these people or what they're getting out of it, but I've seen some pretty ridiculous claims, and this is only the first week of this gun release. I get it, some of these people have had it maybe for a month or two or longer, and they've had their media embargo or whatever it is, but I still doubt that it's been put through the level of testing that a Beretta has. You got the HKs out there. You know, this is worse than the spam of the Walther PDP. The Walther PDP was like the same media frenzy as well. And that's a gun that I've been disappointed with. And I bought into it at first. I'm not buying into this one. Sorry, Springfield Armory, it's not happening. You want to wow us in the future? What you could have done is you saw the cash grabbing that Staccato was doing by putting out the CS. You could have made a compact Prodigy and just been cashing in on things because it would have taken the same mags potentially. It would have been taking all the same systems. Staccato's selling CS's hand over fist, you know, like they're making tons of money off these things, and you could have offered a more affordable option. I get it, the Prodigy had kind of a rough release. I thought it was a good release, but I know that there's a lot of people that had to get their barrels and chambers reamed out and stuff like that for it to function fully. Now that you got that QC and that understanding under control, you could have put out a compact 2011 and been cashing this stuff and had a pretty good bonus Christmas. But instead, you're putting out a lackluster striker fire gun in a market that's flooded with these things. You know, people are dying for something different, and you give them more of the same. So Springfield Armory, I want you to take some of your marketing team, teach them how to potentially invent or build guns or something like that. Do some real innovation and then come back to us. Putting the company history aside, you know, with the 2A and what happened in Illinois, I had an XDM Elite for a while. I thought it was an underrated gun. It didn't have the marketing then, and now it seems like they went full tilt the other way where it's all marketing and no substance. So just a little disappointed. Springfield Armory, you can do better. As gun owners, what we're looking for is we're looking for something that pushes the technology envelope, something that improves over an existing design. And I don't think we get that with the Echelon. So this is my first company call out, Springfield Armory. If you want to get a hold of me, I can send you a few ideas. But right now, this Echelon media embargo ending and just the spam of it is almost intolerable. Probably as intolerable as this video. So if you agree with this, you know, ask your favorite gun tuber, like, look, can you be more unbiased? Because I definitely see some bias out there. Not everyone can be loving this thing the way that they're saying. So I'm looking for people to step up, be unbiased. I know it might restrict some future business stuff, but Springfield Armory, if you're out there as well, I want you to innovate. I want you to be successful, because the more competition we have, the better. But that competition needs to be real competition. It needs to be innovation. It needs to be technology gains. It needs to be improvements. And the Echelon is not that. So take care, everyone. I hope my little rant didn't bore you to death. And if it did help you go to sleep, good on that. You need your sleep. It's good for you. All right, everyone. Take care.